Good evening and welcome to the Channel Studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. It's emerged Donald Trump secretly swapped planes as he left a NATO summit in Turkey last month as part of an elaborate ruse in response to a possible Iranian threat. The US president boarded Air Force One in view of television cameras before being transported to a military aircraft with the help of a catering truck. Journalists said some White House staff on board did not know he had been smuggled out. Officials said that the US had detected a credible threat to fire a missile at the plane. The White House has not confirmed the secret switch. Trump had earlier said he was Iran's #1 target during the summit in Ankara. At least 132 people are dead and many hundreds more injured after Colombia was hit by one of its largest earthquakes in years. The death toll is likely to rise, with more feared trapped under collapsed buildings. The magnitude 7.4 quake struck at a depth of 103 kilometers in Choco province. It was felt across an enormous area, stretching for hundreds of miles across western Colombia. Many of the deaths had been concentrated in the city of Pereira, in Colombia's coffee-growing region, with surrounding cities and the Valle del Cauca region also hit hard. The epicenter of the quake was near the village of San Jose del Palma, but the local mayor said there had miraculously been no deaths or injuries, despite the roads in and out being damaged. Ukraine and Russia have continued striking each other overnight, with Volodymyr Zelensky accusing Moscow of using North Korean missiles. The Ukrainian president said strikes in Zaporizhia, which killed at least 6 and injured at least 19, involved ballistic missiles from Russia's ally. In Voronezh, in southern Russia, warehouses belonging to the online retailer Wildberries were hit by Ukraine. The company, known as Russia's Amazon, has been repeatedly targeted in recent weeks. The attacks come a day after at least 13 people were killed, including one child, in Ukrainian drone strikes on the Russian Republic of Tatarzan, more than 1,100 kilometers from the Ukrainian border. In a video address on Monday evening, Zelensky said for the first time Russia cannot wage war without reinforcements from North Korea. A Syrian court has sentenced ousted dictator Bashar al-Assad to death in absentia after convicting him of committing war crimes and crimes against humanity during the country's civil war. It is the first conviction against Assad, who fled from Damascus to Moscow with his family after his regime was overthrown in December 2024, ending his family's 5-decade grip on power. Assad's cousin, the former head of political security in southern Syria's Deraa province, Ateb Najib, was also sentenced to death. He had been put on trial and appeared wearing a striped prison uniform inside a cage in the courtroom as the judge read out his sentence. Deraa is widely seen as the birthplace of the uprising against Assad's rule. Libyan emergency services have been battling to contain a huge blaze at a major oil plant after it was targeted by unknown attackers. The Zawiya refinery west of the capital Tripoli was hit in a drone strike, the third such incident in 2 days. The National Oil Corporation said a tank containing around 4.5 million litres of fuel was directly hit, triggering a huge fire that caused it to collapse. It said it was considering suspending operations if the attacks continued. Libya's ambulance and emergency service said there were no serious injuries from the fire, with most patients treated for smoke inhalation. Australia's Prime Minister Anthony Albanese is under fire for comments he made about 2 melons gifted to him by Japanese counterpart Sanae Takaichi, after a former Japanese envoy called it an insult.
The Japanese Prime Minister brought a melon.
Smuggled, it was a she.
She?
Did she smuggle it?
I don't know.
Oh, I'm expecting.
Got a couple of melons.
She brought 2.
The episode, which aired in July, had already landed the Prime Minister in hot water because of his inappropriate comments he made about pop star Kylie Minogue. Opposition leaders are now demanding he apologise to Takaichi, but Albanese's position is that it was the host who made the joke, not him. And the world's oceans hit their hottest ever recorded temperatures for July, partly fueled by the developing El Niño conditions in the Pacific. That's according to the EU's Climate Monitoring Service. The average sea surface temperature outside the world's polar regions, between 60 degrees north and 60 degrees south, was 20.96 degrees Celsius last month, beating the previous high of 20.89 set in 2023. Last month was the joint second warmest July globally on record, with temperatures 1.47 degrees Celsius above the estimated pre-industrial average. Meanwhile, Western Europe experienced its hottest ever June and July, with prolonged hot and dry conditions fueling extreme wildfires across the region. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the Channel Studios in Lagos.